Hello, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Rule Revolution. I am Lucas Mack. Brothers and sisters, a lot of energy is flying around. This episode, first of all, I'm so thankful that Cindy Edison came back on from the teachings of Joseph. She is such a blessing to me, and this conversation that we have, I couldn't have had it at a better time because I have been feeling so frustrated and getting really angry and trying to detach and stay in that space of love, but also feeling the energy of this encroaching force to strip away our sovereignty. And it just, it gets me, and you'll hear about it in this episode. And, hopefully you realize that it's not always, I'm not trying to be the Zen master on top of the mountains. I'm a very real person, a husband, a father of three, holding space. Clearly, I know my mission on this planet is to see the hurting get healed, to hold space for people who want to come out of the shadows and heal. And at the same time, while I'm working to be, or I'm actually not even working, just staying in that space to be an invitation, the encroaching narrative of stripping away our sovereignty and forcing us to do things we don't want to do is circling us. And it's been incredibly frustrating. So with that, you'll hear that in this episode, and the resolution at the end of this episode is so beautiful. So thank you so much for listening. If you have not yet followed Cindy on Instagram, The Teachings of Joseph, or go to her website, please do so. You're really going to enjoy this conversation.
Happens. Say you split up with somebody and you're really hurt by it. That it doesn't matter what that circumstance is, because that's the human thing, right? The human doesn't recognize the oneness of everybody. So you could split up all you want, but you're still together. You're still joined at the soul, right. So, but we don't know that as human aspects. So we go into this deep down depression thing, and we get all out of alignment, and we start to create those manifestations. So the thing is that manifestation within us from that experience of the breakup, Abraham says that it's not the breakup that's causing our angst. It's the out of alignment feeling, because that's not what our soul says. Our soul says, you met up for a reason. It was a beautiful thing. It finds all the love that was gained by however long it lasts. It doesn't matter whether it's 30 seconds or 50 years. Right. The love is as dense as it always is, and as important. It doesn't matter. There's no time there. You experienced it. Right. And so let the crap go. So now we have all this crap, and we're seeing it explode. It's like, It's like a volcano just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when we look at it, they say, be aware, but not afraid. Be aware and keep moving to higher ground. Just like they did in the Poseidon adventure when the boat flipped, people are in the bottom, right? And the water starts coming in. He's saying, get up, come up higher, higher than. Remember, Jesus said, the devil is beneath my feet.
Yes.
Rise above the crap. Don't try to get entangled with it. I do this too. I get involved and I go, what the fuck? So, and I mean, I'm serious, and I can't stand to see the stupidity. I'm so disappointed in humans. I can't even believe the stupidity of people. I can't believe it. So I get caught up in there too. I know exactly how you feel. And they're saying, yes, you are moving through this too, but you are the ones who will lead the rest. And if we're going to stay engaged in the chaos, we can't move forward. Right. And as we move forward, we get away from the chaos, because regardless of what's going on outside of us, we are still creating our own reality in the same way, which is paving our own way through choosing vibrational thoughts, vibrational pathway that is in alignment. tough to do. So
Tough
tough
to
to
do.
do.
Tough to
So
do.
tough to do, but we're the leaders. But that's why we're feeling it so passionately. I feel the same way you do. Fuck you. Go put your mask on. I don't care.
Yes.
But leave me alone, for
Leave me
God's
alone.
sakes.
As I
leave
leave
me
you alone, because the minute I don't leave you alone, you'll wish I did.
Yeah.
That is the that's what I don't understand in their minds, what's not clicking over.
Yeah.
If you do not stop encroaching upon my freedoms, when I go to take your freedom away to keep you from taking people's freedoms away, you'll regret ever breathing down my way. This isn't a joke. This is not a joke. And these people think it's a game, like it's some like kumbaya bumper sticker.
Well, they don't get it because all the mainstream does is say, oh, they're conspiracy. The biggest conspiracy theory is their side.
Yes.
Telling them none of this stuff is true. You got to be kidding me.
Right.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's right.
I go, look someplace else, people. I get so mad. I know, me too. Me too. I can't believe people are this dumb. I can't believe it.
And I want to hold space for love. And actually, here's what I want. The word love has been so hijacked. Love is freedom for all. Love is ripping you out of the current. If I think a waterfall's down the way, no matter how painful it might be to you, if I rip you out of that river to save your life, I didn't do it in this loving way, but I love you enough to do that.
Right.
That's what I don't think people are understanding is love. And I've been in this, I feel like, and I'm just recording, we can cut out or do whatever we need, but I've been in this place because I am angry at them because I love them. That's the ironic thing. They don't love me. That's what they don't care about me, but I love them so much. Like, what is going on? And yet I am tired of being made to feel like if I am a loving, the messenger of love, which I feel like that's one of my callings on this planet, is just to be the monk on the mountain. Sorry, the monk on the mountain isn't the one in the gutter cleaning the feces off the feet.
That's right.
And we keep looking at these. I love the monks. They're holding space and creating. They're doing their job, but it's just as loving to go into the gutters,
of course,
to shit off these people's feet and say, "Rise up, get out, come on, let's go."
Yeah,
and that's where I'm at right now.
I know. It's shocking. It's just shocking. I saw that. Well, I don't even want to go. I don't want to go in that direction. But anyway, so maybe I think we should start maybe a weekly thing like we've been talking about.
I would love it.
And talk about, because you know what? There's a lot of people having, and this is the second time I've talked about this, not doing it with somebody else, but this particular topic, and a lot with Joseph about how we move forward together and tell people how to do it, because there are tons of people that feel just like we do. And they're saying, how do we get out of this? How do you expect me to love when I'm watching our brothers and sisters being killed? It's a genocide.
Yes.
We're witnessing this genocide and people are lining up to, and I go, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's the weirdest thing. I can feel like I could cry too, because I love these people so much. Like, read the Georgia Guidestones, for God's sakes. They're not hiding what their intention is. There's no hiding. There's no secret. It's just, if you keep listening to the news and you think the news is the truth, then you have to tell me at the end of your life that you thought Anderson Cooper was equal to Jesus and his teachings. Because that's how you're living. You're living as if Wolf Blitzer himself is Moses coming down from Mount Sinai and saying, "Thus saith the Lord." You're living as if Andrew Cuomo or whatever governor in your state, or you have to tell me that you believe their narrative as much as you believed the gospel of whoever great master and teacher of the past. That is insane. That's asinine beyond all belief. No one would say, well, yeah, Anderson Cooper and the Dalai Lama are equal in teaching. However, you're listening to the news and bending your entire thinking, behavior, and existence to this narrative. So then obviously you believe this more than you believe whatever religious narrative that they come from or whatever philosophical worldview that they have. And that's just being honest, not trying to.
Well, I get it from that perspective, but remember too that most Christians, I'm going to say, are believers that the Bible is literal, and to the degree where they cannot and should not think for themselves, that they are told what to do, not necessarily by God. You know, Jesus was the example for all of us. This is who you are. He said, look at me. This is who you are.
Yes.
You know, but they would rather believe, you know, during these times, I know a lot of people lose faith because just as I was pissed off that day saying, how can you allow this? You know, and they quietly say back, we don't allow anything but love. We're not allowing this. You are. Because it's the human aspect. Everything that's going on right now from the higher, everything has perspectives dependent on the vibration they're sitting within. Right. So all that chaos, of course, is out of alignment. So it's not sitting in the fifth dimension. It's sitting in the third dimension of contrast. Right. And that's why Joseph started calling it the earth and the choosing ground, because right now we are all given the opportunity to choose, and it is being thrown in our face every single day. And these people who continue to choose the fear, choose all, I can't even believe what I'm seeing. I can't even believe half of what I'm seeing. I can't believe it. It is almost unbelievable how I'm watching people react and run to line up to do this and run to line up to do that. And they're just lining up. Do they not know history? And of course, that's why they want to wipe history out, because they don't want anybody to know that it happened before.
Exactly right.
But it's our job to help move forward. And so how do we do that? And we do that by exempling and teaching people how to choose.
Yes.
It's so frustrating. And I know I want to get right in the middle of it too. I mean, I'm going to go to I'm going shooting tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
that's the other thing. Talking about shooting is what in the world, you know, that is completely no logical thought form when this population of fear-based fascists are infringing upon the rights of an armed populace. And I look at them and say, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. Now I have to stop you. And that is what historically has happened. Savages arise in the greatest form of tyranny. And I don't want savages to arise. I want us just to live.
Well, they are rising. We're watching them every day.
Yeah. But I mean, savages for freedom, like there's going to be a pendulum swing back on these people. And like, do you not understand what you are complicit in?
Well, let me give you this perspective, because as you're saying that, I'm watching this split occurring. And they're showing me that as we and millions of other teachers here now for this purpose, as we all band together and move this way, we go this way because we're moving forward.
Yes.
All that chaos, they stay there. So what happens is when you say you want to hurt them, figuratively speaking.
Yeah. No.
But when they say you don't have to, they are hurting themselves. And soon they will only be living amongst themselves. I mean, we can look at Twitter now. Everybody who respects the freedom side, patriot side, if you want, has left Twitter on principle. Right. So, and everybody left
or they were kicked off, right?
Or they were kicked off. Yes. Banned, whatever. Right. Censored. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing to see here about that.
Yeah. Right.
But look who's left.
Right.
You know, if we can make a clean slate. Now I know there's other people just hanging around seeing what's going on, but look what's going to happen. And that is showing the split. We're seeing this split in every single area. every area where people are involved. So we're seeing the chaos separating from the love, and the people on both sides carrying those vibrations are choosing which side you're going to be on. So eventually we will be on the love side. This is a human, obviously visual. We'll be on the love side, and the black side is all the chaos. And that's what we refer to as hell, because they live amongst themselves and they start fighting, inside fighting, and they're killing each other then, because there's nothing else to do. But if you look at the history of the small group, relatively speaking, that's in control of this, that's all they do. And some people say, and I had a conversation about this, she said, we live in a slave world. This is a slave world, and we live amongst the beasts, or something like that. And that's not our perspective. That is the perspective of the third dimension, where all the chaos is. Yes. And yes, that's exactly right. Yes. It's exactly right. But you don't have to choose that.
Right. That's right. As someone, from my perspective, who's been molested, beat violently, horrible things have happened, and see that nothing happens to the perpetrators, and the perpetrators are in the power structures, and people think that these people are the greatest things in sliced bread, and because they can say, oh, God bless you, and cry on cue and all this stuff, and it's the veneer, the facade, and then people believe that, and there's all these victims. And I don't mean a victim mindset. I mean victim of their actions. 800,000 children go missing in the United States every single year. 250,000 children go missing in the United Kingdom every single year. I forget, it's like 500,000 go missing in Canada every single year. This is what makes me get choked up. It's like, what? Fuck. Seriously, what? The literal fuck. You're telling me that you're scared of something that is statistically not even in question, of 99.97% survival rate, and you could care less because, you didn't know? You don't care to know. You don't want to know. So don't tell me you're a virtuous being when you don't really want to know the suffering of the least of these. The children who cannot speak out because they're afraid to speak out. Then they get Stockholm Syndrome just because, and what a gift that God enabled the human mind to even have Stockholm Syndrome, so that you can survive amongst those who are hurting you, and you can have some form of life, as opposed to indicting the victims of Stockholm who live with Stockholm Syndrome. Well, what? Look at them. No, our body goes into shock physically when we're in an accident, that to keep us from that pain. We go into an emotional shock called Stockholm Syndrome to keep us from living emotionally with that pain and to keep the perpetrator at bay. This is how the world has been for so long, in the veneer of religion, politics, media, medicine, all these veneers, all the white jackets, all the white coats, and all the degrees. And people say, well, I know not everyone's bad in this group. I don't actually give a shit anymore. If you're not speaking for truth, you're not speaking for truth.
Right.
Oh, that's how I feel.
I know how you feel. I mean, I can,
oh man,
you can't say that any better. And I know, every time I see a report of kids that have been rescued, I sit there and bawl. I can't even fathom. So, but you said some things that were really interesting. You said the earth has been going, like this, and we know this. Mm-hmm. And so let's take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from the soul's perspective. Let's look at the situation you just described from the soul's perspective. Mm. It could sound, and it may sound, when I get done with it, may sound uncaring. And of course it's not, because it's in alignment and it's only love.
Right.
So the whole purpose of from our perspective, the whole purpose of the human aspects chosen experiences here on the third dimensional earth was to offer choice. And the choice is for expansion. It is always about expansion of the universe, because every time you expand, the entire universe expands. Every time each individual aspect of God, which we all are, everything that's universal is an aspect of God.
Yes.
We are the physical human aspect of God. And every time each one of us expands individually and ultimately collectively, the universe expands. That's why we're here. Bunch of other things, but that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So when we look at situations that make our stomach turns as human aspects, and we say and I keep going back to this, the two soul story from the Conversations with God. That is such a, I say, what a translation of that story, because it's so in alignment, the two little souls. Well, why would anyone ever hurt me? God has to describe to the soul what pain is, first of all, because the little soul's up there in alignment, right, or in heaven. What Neil would say, he was in heaven. Yeah. And so he had to say, well, why would anybody want to do that? Can't even fathom it. And then the other soul comes up and said, I'll do it for you because I love you. I want to assist in your expansion. Just remember who I am. And you specifically played this very important role for many on that side, because you're a lot stronger than you think. Well, your soul, of course, is very strong, and you're operating from a place that is more dominant in your soul's vibration now than your human aspect. So am I. But this is why we feel the contrast so much from the human side when it gets to this level. There's a time we go through and we go, I'm all right, I'm all right, I'm all right. And then we just blow.
Yes.
We just go, what the hell? What? You get so exhausted saying what? But I still have to believe. So we know that this war is won. This is a spiritual war that we are participating in the physical manifestation of, and the purpose of it too is expansion. So if we can look at those horrid experiences that are going on now every day, right, and you're saying people don't get punished, well, it is an out of alignment experience. It's an out of alignment act. It's out of alignment behavior that manifests an out of alignment situation and circumstance. So there is no justification. There's no justice in out of alignment anything. Justice is in alignment. Get that? So really difficult to move from the space of that experience and to just say to yourself, I can't even imagine. Just say to yourself, that is an out of alignment experience. It was an experience, and I can choose how I'm going to think about it. Yeah. Seems really hard, but it too is a choice. Now, that doesn't take away. You're not meant to erase the experience, because from the human aspect, all you want to do is erase it. Yeah. Because it's out of alignment, and the human doesn't understand at that level yet. And that it is an eternal experience. And in the scheme of eternity, it's a blip. And it served a purpose, and the purpose was for expansion. It was for your expansion too. And you will realize that the more you expand, you'll understand it in a different way. And you do that by shifting your perspective about it. Very hard to do when you're in the middle of it. You're sitting in the mud and they're saying, think like you're sitting in the ocean. You go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. That is such and really, it's
what we would call a big step.
Big step.
It's a big, they say, Cindy, you struggle as you expand now, because first of all, and I speak to you too when I say this, and the other teachers, we're all dealing with this.
Yeah.
We have not experienced this level of vibration, this level of trust, and everything that goes with the expansion into this new consciousness. So, which is trust and joy and love. So trust, we are everything that's in that alignment. But they say you, and I've been going through this on and off for several months now. And they say, don't ever think that this is human thinking, that we're going to get to a certain level and we're free. They say you are always free. But as you expand your awareness, you take another step forward into a vibration that we are afraid of. The human is afraid of because we have not experienced it before. They say the phrase fear of the unknown is a gift to us in this time frame, because the fear of the unknown they're speaking of is the fear of the unknown vibration. We have not, as human aspects, ever experienced a vibration in its physical form to exist in for any length of time, because we're in the third dimension. So we live in the contrast. You could be happy 90% of the time, but you're still not in alignment 100% of the time.
Right, exactly.
We're in the contrast. So we got to choose our way out of the contrast. And I want to share. Can I share this? Let me show you this. You're going to have to tell me how to do it. Because this is cool. Okay. So if I do a share screen, I don't know what's on here. Okay. Let me see. How do I do this?
If you share desktop.
Wait, what did I do? Oh, I did it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So look at this. We're going to do a podcast on this, but I think this will give us a different idea.
Great.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is like a brother to that last one that we had. Remember last week I put up one?
Yeah.
Human evolution. Okay. So we're talking about past life regression. And we don't call it regression because all of these things, look at this from the bird's eye view. Okay. So we're walking through this tunnel right here. So this right here, can you see my cursor?
Yep.
Okay. So this right here is the 3D of all 3D, the crown royal of 3D right there. Okay. So this is just an example. We have thousands of lives. Okay. So, this is just a shortened up example. And let's say this is me right here. So this little guy right here, when he first came in eons and eons and eons ago, and so we start expanding out, right? Every time we revisit the physical earth, this is what we do. We're walking forward like that other guy was, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy was, this guy. Okay.
Yes.
So this guy could be, this guy right here could be this guy. Okay. So all of these rings represent lifetimes and bands of vibration. Now look at this outside ring. You see how light gray it is?
Yeah.
So that's the vibration of the human aspect. And as we walk forward, we get over here, right up here.
Yeah.
There's no denseness. So all of these lifetimes exist on these bands of vibration, if you will. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the other one. So these are all happening now because sorry, I'm right in the middle of this. So the vibration, these bands, these are timelines of vibration. These are timelines that we have expanded. This is our evolution. So we come in here, we come back the next time we're there, the next time we're there, the next time we're there. And as we keep coming back, now we're here. And there's some contrast, but there's a bunch of people still back here, right? Every time you come back, you pick up where you left off. And if you don't evolve out of this, you sit there. That vibration sits there and you live in that vibration. You create from that vibration. So here we are up here. So we are carrying the bags, if you will, the vibrational luggage of all these lives that are still vibrating, that are still living, because the vibration doesn't die. It just changes form, right?
Yes.
So we're still living all these. So this guy over here died out of alignment. So he has this fear of moving to this one and to this one and to this one. So we are the coaches. Joseph calls us the captains of our human aspect teams. And we're the captains of all these guys right here, because all of these vibrations it's a one big circle, and it's all contained right here. So we have all these life experiences, all the physical vibrational experiences we pick up when we come back. But when we come back, we come in from the white side.
Yes.
As pure, and that has expanded too exponentially, because throughout all of these lifetimes, when we leave, we take with us bags of, I like to think of them as big white feathers. We take all our love with us. And then when we come back, we pick up the physical and we expand to the new version of us. And so now the new version of us that we are given the opportunity to expand to is our new human aspect, who's sitting over here in the white. So we still have this gray right here to get through. And that's dumping all the old beliefs, dumping anything that's in contrast with this. Yes. And it's right here. I can see the line right here. So this is just my visual of trying to understand. So when we have a past life regression, and then I'll shut up. When we have a past life, I haven't taught this yet, so this is pretty good. Sorry. Awesome. When we have a past life regression, they take us, what we refer to as back. They take us back.
Right.
Joseph refers to it as we're jumping timelines. We're going back to another timeline. And when I did mine, that is depicted in book 2, I think it's book 2. I remember, and I recorded this, that I got to a certain point, Archangel Michael was with me, and I got to a certain point where I felt so tired, and he picked me up. And at the time, I didn't understand why I was tired, but now I know that I was going back to a timeline, a dense timeline, and my physicalness had already expanded beyond it up here. But I had this issue in this guy down here. So Michael took me back in all his power, takes me to this timeline over here, and now I'm in the denseness. So once we expanded that issue, we don't call it healed. You can call it healed if you want. We expand this guy who's carrying that out to here. So he expands from the vibration where the pain can be chosen. Can't be chosen from out here. It doesn't exist.
That is powerful, and it makes a lot of sense.
That's the first time I ever said that. Thank you for letting me go through that.
That's amazing. It's amazing, and it makes so much sense.
I think so, yeah.
I did a past life regression like a month ago. Very first time I had done that, and I'd only been here one other time that I saw in this past life regression, and it was somewhere in the Middle East, and an evil king killed me. And I've always been afraid of being killed for speaking out. That's been like me too. Uttering to you like this frustration. I'm like, well, and it's interesting. You're saying expansion. I'm like, of course, because to open up and speak clearly and not be afraid of others, and we can't go further than our fear keeps us from going. And so we have to face it, and we have to get over it. And that's where we can all live in this vastness. And it's beautiful. It's really, really awesome.
When what we're afraid of, what we're afraid of now, this vibration that we have no experience with down here, we know it's a bunch of shit. So we kind of know that we're going to, people say it all the time. Life is really hard. There's so many cliches about, every how bad life is all the time. I always laugh at people when they say everything bad comes in threes. And I go, why are you declaring that? Why don't you just say nothing bad ever happens? Yeah. If you have a choice, or say everything bad comes in ones, why are you slamming yourself like that? You are creating it as you're speaking it. That's so change the language, people. So yeah. So when you get down here, so here we are now, and there'll be another ring here, I guess, or whatever. But when we step from this last bit of gray over into here, we don't know how to do that. We've never done it before. We've been going through this.
Right.
So we haven't done over here. So that's where Joseph is. That's where our souls are, over here.
Yeah.
And they're saying, walk forward, come forward, trust us. And that's where the trust comes in, is, and the faith, you have, the faith,
Yes.
Faith that it is,
Yes.
it is what they've been telling us it is.
Yeah.
So this is this period of time for, the human collective going through on a global scale, what we're going through, walking away from the pain. We're walking away from out of alignment creations. The earth has already walked away. The earth is still, ascending, of course, but the earth has made its shift. And as the earth shifts, it's easier for us to shift if we just move in that direction. And you just have to keep choosing it. Not an easy thing to do. But the more you choose it, see, I even put his right foot over there. It's right on the edge of that red thing,
Yeah.
So he's hanging back, and a lot of people feel like they are teachers. And I want to touch on something you said too. You can get rid of that if you want. That we feel like we've been climbing up this rope that's hanging off this cliff. And we're climbing up, and our whole bodies are up on the cliff now, except for one leg. And that leg is dangling, and that leg is holding on to, or the vibration is holding on to, so to speak, the rest of our 3D beliefs and our 3D understandings, our 3D truths, or things that we believe are true, and that one thing is just holding us back, and we want to shake it off.
Right.
But we're scared. We're scared.
Yes. It's interesting. The fear just triggers old trauma yet to be integrated and aligned. I like to, when we first did our podcast, you're like, Joseph doesn't call it healing, calls it alignment. I'm like,
calls it expansion.
Expansion. Yeah. Expansion. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, I've accepted and adopted that is the language set. And when we have fear, it triggers where we're yet to expand. So we got to face it.
That's right.
Conquer it, go through it, and then we can expand. But most
or just choose. A lot of people, when we tell me what you mean when you say we have to go through it. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, for me, my process is when I feel fear, I like sit in what am I actually afraid of? Am I afraid of being killed? Am I afraid of being put to death? Am I afraid of, and I have to like sit in it first person, and I look at it and I choose to go through anyway versus turn back or turn my back to it, because most of what happened to me as a child, my back was to what was happening. And so for me, it's so empowering to like turn around and face it, and then reclaim the power that I didn't have then. And I feel like that's what fear does now, is it makes me want to like hedge and turn, as opposed to, that's what I was saying. I was like, the equal measure that you are going to apply to me, I will apply back to you. Only you're not prepared for what I'm about to bring back to you. Because, and this is just from my own perspective, because they can't see energetically, these perpetrators, and I mean mask enforcers, I mean whatever, anyone that's making someone do something against their own sovereign will, they're only looking through the 3D lens. So they say, what's the big deal? But they can't see the energetic field of, it's a massively big deal. And when my energetic field and my physical field come back with the same force that you are making me have to respond from that place, that energetic field is a tidal wave compared to what they are expecting, because their energetic field is very small. It's not that big.
Really deep down in the denseness. Yeah.
It's very,
their awareness is like this.
Very, yes. And that's why I'm like,
now let me address a couple things for you.
Please.
And I'm just going to give it to you straight. When you say, when they make me, when they make me, when they make me, you have to shift that. I said to Joseph, and this was interesting, when they first started a while ago with the whole mask, and people, you couldn't get in the store without a mask, and I refuse. I just think it's silly, but I don't refuse. I don't tell people not to, but I'm going to say, but so I got scared because I said, this has potential of getting really bad because I'm not going to do it. And so what do I do? And they said, by your focusing on alignment, there will always be a place for you to go where it is not necessary, and we will guide you there. And they did. A place that I wasn't even aware of, that I just came upon one day, a market, an international market, actually, that has everything and more than I could ever need. And it is owned by a family of Mexicans, I think, the sweetest people you ever want to meet. Wow. And the workers, it is an amazing experience because they are peaceful people. And although there are a lot of people in there with masks, not everybody, and they never say a word. Right. In fact, they assist, they're there to help you, and they don't run away from you or, so that's where I go now. So they led me. So the more so my whole point of that story is that the more we focus on alignment, the trusting in the space of alignment, you will always have what you need. They said that to me 20 years ago, and absolutely true. You will always, in every area, when you're in alignment, it's put in front of you when the opportunity is right. When you trust, it's when you trust and you're walking your path, focusing on alignment, your purpose, the opportunities for you to live out your purpose or teach or whatever that is will fall into your space. Somebody's over on the side, chucking them right in your pathway at the perfect time because you're in alignment. You don't have resistance to your own movement forward. When you decided to come here, you, with your soul, it was a collective agreement. This is what you're going to do. This is what, this is what I want to do for my own expansion. Remember, those decisions are made from the space of love. So when we get here, we screw them up with the human vibrational contrast stuff, and then we get what they would call off course. And they say, you're never off course. You're just constantly choosing. So and I understand, but when we get that angry and we say, you can't, when we start pushing back on something, it only makes that something bigger, right? Everything you focus on expands. So you want to spend your time focused on alignment, focused on your own alignment. So you, regardless of what's going on out there, what they're saying and screaming at people, you don't have to live in that unless you choose to. And people say, that's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous because this is universal law. Yes. Universal law doesn't change.
Not be broken. That's right. That's right.
You're still creating your reality. If you want to go and take out your frustrations and go beat up a bunch of bullies, absolutely, you have the choice to do that. But that's an out of alignment, understandable. It's an out of alignment pathway that will take you to out of alignment manifestations. Yes. And then you have to say, this is where I'm at a crossroads here. Do I make this choice and go there because it'll make me feel good? It won't, because it'll just make it worse. It'll just expand that anger inside you. And then you, all of us, and then it will continue to expand, and more manifestations for that expansion to occur will appear. Right?
Yep. That's it. That makes sense.
So it's the human aspect that, you have a lot of, my grandmother would say, pent up. You got some pent up, you have pent up vibrations. Yes. Pent up vibrations. But if we went back to that chart, you could see that the guys that were you, girls, guys, whatever, that vibration is out of alignment. It's still in you. It's still there. Yeah. So what you do now is recognize it, that it is out of alignment. That was an experience I had that was out of alignment. And now I'm just going to walk forward. That was an experience I had. and I'm walking forward. It served a purpose. And if I want to know what that purpose is, I need to go toward the space where that purpose is defined. And that is in the space of love, because all solutions sit in alignment, right? Can't find a solution out of alignment for an out of alignment, problem.
That's right.
Just creates more.
That's right.
More desire for the solution, but you're looking over here, but the solution's over there.
Right.
Tough. It's tough right now. It's a big step we're making, and we're dragging all these. So a lot of what you're calling fear, we call out of alignment vibration. What, all of us have all this baggage and, vibrational baggage. They're kind of floating, right? It's vibrational baggage, but it may not have been an experience that we had in this lifetime. It might be 1,000 years ago that vibration had never evolved beyond that fear.
Yeah.
So now you're feeling it again. I'm feeling it again. And it's still manifesting because it's still a vibration. So we might say, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? I didn't do well. Yeah, you did. It's just, and that's where we go from, I'm going to fight this fear, to I'm going to recognize that this is an out of alignment vibration, and it's part of my physical makeup. And all I need to do is to recognize that it's just an out of alignment vibration I've been carrying. How long doesn't matter. It has no bearing on this at all. The fact is, it's there. And so now we say it's out of alignment. I am going to move into love. And you take that step forward and you say, this isn't love. I am moving toward love. Because the more time we spend fighting that and trying to figure out whys, if we're saying why, we're out of alignment, because when you're in alignment, you already know.
Gosh, it's so good.
It's so easy, but it's
simple.
Difficult.
Yeah, it's so simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's a simple concept that
of
is
choosing.
The most profound, but it's choosing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Most profound. Yeah.
Man, I'm thankful for you. Last week it wasn't the time for art because I wasn't ready. It was starting in me, and it was like building. And then yesterday the last two days I was wiped out, and I was getting angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier, and it was building and building. And it's like, then I started questioning, am I being authentic to myself? If I'm not sharing, if, I don't want to, it doesn't even matter. It's just, I'm thankful for you that I can share this, have that space, and then to be reminded, because I want us all to be bathed in love. I want us to be in the presence of love.
But even when you say, I want to be, you have resistance there. Because you're saying, I want to be. So when you hold the space for wanting, the vibration of wanting is in resistance to the vibration of being. So you really hold yourself. So that's out of alignment. So when we start recognizing what's in and out of alignment and what we've been taught, we go, holy shit, this is wild stuff. So you just say, I don't have to want this. I already am this. And it's teaching yourself the new perspective, to feel relief. Because when people say, oh, I don't want to do that, but I do it. I don't want to. I say, well, stop saying that you don't want to, because when you say, I don't want to, you're holding yourself out of alignment with what you want, because you don't want to. And even in the words we use, it's a whole new way. I'm telling you, it's a whole new way. And it's a step at a time. And you can I have visualized myself. And the past month has been difficult. This moon, I was pissed off for 4 or 5 days, and I didn't want anything to do with anybody. And I was mad. I was mad for 4 days. And then I realized we're coming, it's usually right before the full moon, a couple of days before and a couple of days after. And I struggle with that. And they've always told me, and I just said, so this time I said, oh, okay, I know what this is. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to be fine. And I was, and it just took a little bit of I just let it go. And they told me several times, when you feel that angst, Cindy, you're going to feel it because we're evolving. If we will allow ourselves to let the energies move us, we don't have to do anything but hold on for the ride,
Mm.
because we're going downstream.
Yes.
When we're feeling this bullshit that we've been feeling for the past couple, on and off for months now, it's been crazy.
Right.
But when we're feeling that, they said, just feel it, just let it go and just know what it is. It's the energies that's trying to move you and you're resisting it. It's like I'm holding on like this. I'm trying to push against that tsunami that's in front of me. And I'm standing there with my hand up in the air, thinking I'm going to stop it. They said, turn around, let the energies carry you, and you'll go right back into alignment. And it works. I did it. It's scary. It's like surfing on one foot,
Yeah.
It is. It's scary, but you have to trust. You have to trust. And the more you trust, the more opportunities we'll have to trust. They said, they said, you better, and my words, not theirs, of course, they're much nicer to me. You better get used to this expansion now, recognizing it for what it is, because it does not stop. And once you recognize it and say, okay, here we go, and you let yourself feel the human vibration of the resistance, just let it, just recognize it for what it is and say, I'm going to come out of this on the other side. And then just go watch some stupid TV or something and just let it go. Just just let it go. You wake up and you're back. You can feel you could feel that you're almost on the other side of it. You can feel physically. It's kind of cool. And then you start getting it faster and faster and faster. And then it doesn't last for 6 months anymore. It lasts for 2 months, and then it lasts for 2 weeks, and then it lasts for a week, and then it's a few days. And now I can get through it in a couple hours sometimes.
Yeah.
But it never stops. I mean, it will stop the more we trust.
Right.
So it's all about trusting now, our motion forward. And everybody who has had experiences like you have, and of course, I've had my own too, not anything like you, but it's all relative,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And you, by the way, are a warrior. This is why you've got a warrior vibration that is really admirable. It's actually really, really strong. And you're kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to go into this with you now, because it's interesting. It's really interesting because it's almost like it's so powerful. You're seeing, okay, this is good. The warrior vibration in you that you have been before in other lifetimes, warriors, protector, powerful leader, but because it was in the third dimension, it is like this. It is, you're not going, you are like this. So now where you are now is that vibration is shifting into the more powerful soul vibration where protection is not needed. So you become the Michael. You become, just through your knowing of who you really are, that vibration of the 3D warrior turns into a master of, wow, it's really nice. A master. I'm seeing this really, it's rare I get visuals, but almost like a big wings, big angel, very big, really big warrior with gold wings. Leading. And so this lifetime for you has been the reason you chose to take on these experiences is because you had the strength of that warrior vibration in you in order to handle it. So you were in service. You were in service to many others with this vibration. And so now you are at the choosing ground for yourself to move that, and it will do it on its own if you will just allow it. And that's releasing your resistance, is to move that warrior vibration into the warrior of love vibration, which is the most powerful vibration that, of course, exists. It is the pure God consciousness. So it's that, and that's why your angst is so passionate, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing, because that's coming from that warrior vibration. But from the love warrior, there's like not a word for the power that's in there. It's pure positive love, and nothing can fight that. There's no need for fighting there. So you're almost, there's a part of you that doesn't want to let go. Okay. Oh, this is fun. They're enjoying this. I'm telling you, they're seeing you. It's beautiful. So the warrior that you've lived all these lifetimes in many different forms, is now the human aspect. You, as the human aspect, love that vibration of yourself. You love that protector of yourself. It's who you are. And you're a winner. You're a ruler. You don't lose battles.
Right.
So you have this vibrational attitude that carries you with this. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So the human side of you is almost saying, I don't want to let go of that part of me. And the soul side of you is saying, it's already here. It's just your human aspect. You're just dragging your foot a little bit, because that warrior vibration is the soul part of you. That warrior vibration is the soul part of you, but your perspective of it and your use of it, really, your recognition of it in the third dimension is one of warrior, of fighter, of protector. So when you translate that vibration into the God consciousness, that's exactly what it is there. But there's no fighting. It just stands in its own power.
Oh.
So it's not fighting. It's just supplying. It's supplying it in its purest form. And so it's just your human aspect that wants to, you want to get in the ring and knock it out, because you feel like if you're that you're not, there's almost a side of you that's saying, you are full of all this love, and that's the warrior vibration too, is all pure love. Yeah. But there's a side of you that doesn't want to be wimpy. And it's the opposite of that. It's strength that's immeasurable. It's an immeasurable strength that you have. And again, they want me to stress this, that the strength that you have shown and exampled for others and shown for yourself in this lifetime is an example of that strength vibration, is an example of the love soul vibration of you, which is the major part of you. It's just the perspective that needs to shift for you. And you will do that. You will do that as you trust and step forward and move that pain into the space of love. And the way you don't move the pain, you shift your perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And this stuff's landing. So,
it's a big deal for you. It's really, but it's so, I wish I could show you this image that they showed me of you stand, and I'm looking up like this because it's above me. It's almost, it looks like a cape behind you. It's not, but it looks like a cape because it's wings, and you are drenched in gold, and your face is up, and you're looking like you are a, geez, you're a rescuer. You're a, I can't even think of the name. I see that standing there. And it's powerful. It's really powerful. But that's who you really are. So bravo for showing up and doing all of those things. And always know, for you and everybody who's going through, and we're all going through it. We're all going through it in our own way, because we all have different experiences, different lifetimes, different life experiences, but we're all doing the same thing. And that is, we're moving to the front line, we're moving to the front line. I did a visual of this stairway up into the clouds, and there was a door up there, and there was beautiful blue sky, and it said, welcome to the new earth, fifth dimension. And at the bottom of the stairs was a big dumpster with big hefty bags in it. Deposit fear here. Can't take that shit. You cannot take it. So the best way to do it is to learn how to shift your perspective about what you're looking at. And we do that by taking on the perspective of our soul. And if you ask your soul for help, of course, it will show you.
It's so interesting you're saying all this. First of all, thank you. And
oh God, of course.
a couple of weeks ago, I was meditating, and it's hard to describe how much I have always loved God.
Yeah, that's that warrior vibration. Yeah, it is.
Like every fiber of my being. And I was meditating the other day because after I attempted suicide at 20 years old, I started journaling. I was given a journal by a friend, and I started writing, and it was just my conversation to God. It was usually in self-hatred and beat up if I had sinned or I'd done something, but I started signing off, you're a warrior. And then a couple of months later, I'd write your servant. And then a couple of months later, I wrote your prophet. And then a couple of months later, I wrote your son. And then for years, I would write your warrior, your servant, your prophet, your son, your warrior, your servant, your prophet, your son. And I hadn't touched that journal since 2016. But the other day I hadn't thought those words in a long time, but I was meditating, and I'm like, I just had this thought, like, God, who are you that I love so much? It was so bizarre. It was like I mean, I've always said this, I think this, I do this, I am this, like, I love you, God. Who are you? Like, who are you actually? Are you the infinite one creator? Are you some lesser form? Do I know? Can I say? And all of a sudden I heard, I am the warrior, the servant, the prophet, the son. I am the warrior, servant. And I'm like, wait.
In other words, I am you.
You. It was so wild. And I'm getting chills right now because I have yet to fully.
Of course. Yeah. You still got one foot out. It's okay. You're in a great spot. You are in a great spot. You are. You just need to shift your perspective a little bit. Like they would never say you need to. That's me. That's my Italian New York coming out. You need to do this. Get over there and do it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it's just and your perspective will shift the more you evolve as you keep walking forward. You will continue to shift. We all do. Just keep choosing the walk forward, and go through the passion, go through the hatred, go through all your physical, emotional stuff, and then realize I'm out of alignment. I think the reason that you not recorded last week is because you had to get it out. They wanted you to get it out, just for you. Just for you, so you could feel, because you're moving from a space where you're starting to feel the vibration more now. And of course, as we evolve, as we move forward, we do feel the vibration more. It's all about feeling our way through. If we feel bad, we're out of alignment. If we feel good, we're in alignment. So let's feel our way through and just keep moving forward. It never ends. We're eternal, right? We're eternal. So yeah, they are you. So when you say that, I am all these things, that visual I'm getting of that warrior of love, it's a warrior of love. We are all warriors of love.
Yes.
And the warrior, is just the pure positive, nothing can touch it.
Right.
It's untouchable, undamageable.
Yes.
In that form, it's undamageable.
So funny you're saying that. I wrote the other day, those who have made us to feel dirty hated our innocence, and it is our job to reclaim our innocence and remind ourselves that within us is our divine spark, and it can never be tainted. It can never be damaged. It can never be corrupted. We are uncorruptible. Yeah. We are.
That's right. Unless we allow,
And then unless we allow their narrative for us. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love you. I am so thankful.
I love you too. I love
you. Not have been better.
Oh, good. I hope it helped. Yeah. I hope it helped a lot of people. It certainly helps me.
Helps me. I mean,
I love when they do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a great specimen.
Oh,
I love when they do that. It's so cool when they just start, And of course, I had a little chat with them before we got on here. But yeah, this stuff is so important now because it's really getting intense and
Yes.
people just don't understand,
Yeah.
you know, a little at a time. We're feeding a little at a time, but it's hard. It's hard. People are what I'm finding, and I know you got to go, but I just want to say this.
That's great.
What I'm finding is that people are doing everything they can to hold on to those 3D beliefs from fear. You know, people argue with me about their fearful beliefs. Well, this is what this one said, and this is what this one said. I said, yeah, I understand. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it's out of alignment. You know, it was in alignment where it's in alignment with where it was created. We're not in that space anymore. It's not that it's bad. Nothing's good or bad. They're just different and they manifest different. So if you want to hang around out of alignment with all those beliefs that you were taught to believe, most likely, then by all means, that's your choice. But that's what you will live. That's the manifestation. That's the reality you create from, is an out of alignment experience. Shift your perspective and choose something else. You know, we got a lot of work to do.
We do.
We do.
Thank you. And thanks to Joseph
Thank you
for showing up. And
they're bowing to you. They're saying, thank you. Thank you.
Everyone, please go follow Cindy and the Teachings of Joseph on Instagram, and your website is
theteachingsofjoseph.com.
Yeah, I'll put that in the show notes. And I'm gonna buy I'm gonna buy the books. There's 4 books, right? 4 volumes.
There's 4 books. Yeah. We're teaching. Okay. I want to encourage you too, if you haven't seen it yet. I started teaching in book 2. They lay out these 7 steps. I think we talked about it at one point, the 7 steps to self-discovery and healing, they call them. And it's almost like they're powerful. First of all, it's all about self-responsibility and choosing and all that stuff. And I'm teaching them step by step on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So they're probably, 20 to 30 minute long segments. I just put up number 4.
Awesome.
So I'm teaching those. So that's good. And, if we can get that, I'll give you an idea of what their entire message is about. It's all about shifting perspectives into the new earth vibration. We have got to accommodate that vibrational perspective.
Yes.
It's sitting there. We step into it. It doesn't come down and meet us. We move up or out, as we would say. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Cindy, I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I needed that conversation and it was just divinely timed as always. So thank you, sister. And everyone, let's keep going. Let's keep advancing. Let's keep ascending. Let's keep expanding in alignment to love and light, the infinite love and light that is unconditional and infinite, awaiting us all. I bless you all. Keep doing the inner work, brothers and sisters. Keep living and loving, holding space. And I love what Cindy said, ask to be directed and you'll be directed to the right places. And thanks for allowing me this space to work through the emotions that I'm going through as well. So I bless you all. Thank you. I am Lucas Mack. This is the Golden Rule Revolution.